Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, all of you. And friends, Indian IT companies have historically been service-oriented rather than product-focused. While companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, and HCL have grown into global giants, their business model has primarily been based on outsourcing, cost arbitrage, and execution excellence rather than a disruptive innovation. My dear friends, it is making me to think. Why it is so? Indian IT firms grew by providing outsourcing services to global clients, focusing on delivering projects on time and at lower costs rather than creating new intellectual property. Revenue is driven by billing hours, not by creating breakthrough products. So the leadership of most Indian IT firms comes from engineering and management backgrounds, focusing on efficiency and execution rather than risk-taking. Unlike Silicon Valley founders who think of global scale disruption, Google, Facebook, Tesla, Indian IT leaders focus on quarterly earnings, client retention, and cost cutting. So university in India emphasize rote learning, outdated curricula, and theoretical knowledge rather than fostering a startup culture or problem-solving mindset. Unlike the Stanford Silicon Valley model, where research converts into billion-dollar companies, Indian universities do not encourage deep tech innovation, patenting, or venture funding for student ideas. So innovation requires trial and error in India. Failure is stigmatized rather than celebrated. So in contrast, Silicon Valley thrives on failure, with investors funding multiple startups knowing most will fail but a few will succeed massively. So Indian IT companies have the resources but rarely fund disruptive ideas internally. Venture capitalists in India prefer quick profit ventures like fintech, e-commerce, and SaaS rather than deep tech, artificial intelligence, or product innovations. So India produces top engineers, but the most ambitious ones go to the United States to work for Google, Microsoft, Facebook, and Tesla rather than starting their own ventures in India. So Indian origin CEOs are leading global innovation, but the ecosystem in India does not support them enough. So change is happening, but slowly startups like Zerodha, Razorpay, Freshworks, Ola, Electric, and Zepoto show Indian entrepreneurs can innovate. If IT giants don't shift from services to products, they risk losing talent to startups and global competitors. So government initiatives like Startup India and AA funding may help, but execution and mindset shifts are needed. So my suggestion is how to ideate and innovate. Encourage risk-taking. Founders and leaders must fund internal research and development and support moonshot ideas. So create models like Stanford, Silicon Valley, like university-industry collaboration. So allow teams to work on internal startup projects along with the IT companies. So not just software services, but invest in artificial intelligence, deep tech, and hardware. So reducing regularity hurdles, easy funding will help the startup people to bring the ideate into materialistic form and to get success. The government incentives for product startups will help in this regard very much. If Indian IT firms don't ideate and innovate, they will remain outsourcing factories rather than global tech leaders. The choice is clear: innovate or become relevant. My three impactful ideas I am giving you. One is encourage risk taking, and number two, university industry collaboration must be, and startup culture in IT companies should be developed. So with these thoughts, I am closing here. Thank you very much for attending this lecture, my dear ladies and gentlemen. See you all If you all wanted to see me, you can see me at Indian Techies or Global Directors. Thank you very much. As you all know, I am A. Sudhakar.